My name is Patricia Belanger. I'm in charge of social media for LACR. Thank you for joining this webinar. You are the group that want to be an advocate of Motorola Solutions content. And the objective of this webinar will be to explain how to use the tool that will allow you to do that. This is the way that the content that we publish in our social media could be take and share in your network as if you were posting it. This webinar will explain how to download the app, how to use it, and of course we will give you support and guide you in the process. As you have been chosen of the first group, we will be asking about the feedback of the tool and what do you think, and then we will move on to the rest of the company. So thank you for being in this session, and I want to introduce Carolina Heyman from Hootsuite, who will explain the application. Thank you.
Thank you, Patricia. And as she said, my name is Carolina Heyman, and I am a launch specialist at Hootsuite. So my job really is to make sure that all of our clients are feeling really comfortable with the tool, that you're using it, that you're logging in, and that you're finding it helpful in your everyday. I apologize that the training today has to be in English. Unfortunately, we were not able to have a Portuguese speaker for the training today, but I do have the rest of the presentation in Portuguese, so the different slides will be in Portuguese there for you. As you saw before, today's training will be recorded, so you will all have access to all of this information later on, but to ensure the quality of the recording, I will be muting all of your microphones from now on. So if you have any questions, please send them through the live chat with the GoToMeeting. So if you have any questions, please put them in there and I'll be answering those questions as we go along. So the agenda for today's training, I will show you how to set up your Amplify, so how to access it, make sure that you have the app downloaded. And after that, I will show you how the Amplify app works on your phone as well as in your computer. So if you don't want to use it on your phone, we do have a desktop version that you can use online. And then I'll show you a live demo of how this app works. At the end of this presentation, I will show you some resources that we have for you. So this includes access to our support team, of course, Patricia's contact information, and just a little bit more information of where you can get help if you need it. So we'll get started and I will show you how to first access your Amplify account. By now, you should all have received an email that looks like this. So it's basically an invitation to join the Amplify organization for Motorola Solutions. In this email, you will see the link to download the application either from your Google Play Store if you have an Android, or from the App Store if you have an iOS phone. Below that, you will also see a link to access the application directly from the desktop version, and clicking on that link will take you to set up your password if you want to do so. At that point, you can just go straight to your phone, either to your Google Play Store or your App Store, and just search for Amplify. Once you find it, you can click on download. It is free of charge, so all of you can get it for free. Once you open it up, you'll be able to enter your email address. And what I want to clarify is that the email address that you should enter is not your regular first name, last name email, but rather the core ID at motorolasolutions.com. So please make sure that you're entering your core ID instead of your full email address. So once you have the app downloaded, you can enter your email address, again, core ID, and then you'll have two options to log in. You can either use a magic link, and what the magic link does is that when you click on it, we will send you a link directly to your email, And from there, you can access the app without needing to set a password. Now, this only works if you already have your email application on your phone. If you don't have your email on your phone, then please just click on Sign in with password, and you can either create a brand new password or use the one that you've already created. Once you finally log in, you can go to the profile section, as you see here on the bottom, to set up your profile account for Amplify. So I'm going to stop here for a second. It looks like we have a question. It says the core ID is not working. Thank you for letting me know. What I'm going to do is then I will follow up with you directly to make sure that you do have access to the account. So there may have been an issue with your core ID specifically. If any of you have any trouble logging in, please let me or Patricia know, and we will help you sort this out. So we'll click on profile at the bottom in the bottom right corner. And once you get there, what you'll see is this option to click on the gear icon at the very top. So clicking on that top icon, what that means is that you will get to select your social networks. So the first thing that you want to do is make sure that you're connecting your social networks. In this case, you can choose to connect your Facebook page if you have one, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram. You don't have to connect all of them, but you can connect as many as you want. To connect your social network, you would just tap on the network that you want to connect. So in this case, let's say that I'm connecting Twitter. All that you would do is just add your username and your email, and then your password for Twitter. If you already are logged into Twitter in your phone, then you don't need to do this. The system will just ask you whether you want to connect them, and you just have to say authorize app or just say yes. It is the exact same process for Facebook, for LinkedIn, and for Instagram, so it's very simple to connect your different social networks. Once you add in your information, you'll see that the social network is connected. In this case, in the screenshot, you can see that I connected my Twitter account. Once you have your social network connected, we can go back to the content page, which you see at the bottom once again. So in the content section, you will find all of the different pieces of content that have been created for you. You will see that the different pieces of content are set up by topic. So for example, some of them will be divided by like public safety, moto turbo, commercial markets, and other things like that will just make it easier to organize that content and find the ones that you're most interested in. This content was created by the Motorola team, and it's created for you to be able to share to your own social networks. All of this content will be refreshed regularly, so the idea is that every time that you log into Amplify, there is new content for you to share in the different topics that you could be interested in. As you scroll and you find different content that you like, when you find one that you want to use, you can click on share. And once again, this app will translate to the language that you have your phone. So if you have your phone in Portuguese, all of these icons will be in Portuguese. So we click on share, and what you'll get to do is you can choose what social network you want to share this to. In this case, this specific post was created for Twitter, and the reason for that is the length of the post, the images, and so every post is optimized for one of the social networks or for multiple. So you'll see what social networks are available for each post. You can choose whether you want to send it to all of them or just to some of them. In this case, if you want to share it to Twitter, you can just tap on the Twitter icon and you'll get a check mark letting you know that it has been shared out. So that is the mobile version, and now I'm going to show you what the desktop looks like. To access the desktop version, you don't have to download anything. You just have to go to the website amplify.hootsuite.com. And don't worry about memorizing this. I will have the link for you at the end of this presentation. Once you open that up, Again, you can either enter your password that you have already created, or you can click on Forgot Password and set a new one. Once again, remember that you have to use your core ID at motorolasolutions.com. Once you log in, this is what the desktop version will look like. So what you get to see is that you've got all of the different pieces of content, and very similar to the mobile version, you do also have the settings page that you can change. So we'll click on settings once again, and here you can connect your social networks very similarly to how you would do it on the mobile version. If we go back to the content, once again, you can scroll through all of the different pieces of content. On the left, you will see the different topics that are available to you. And when you find the content that you want to share, click on share, and once again, click on the social network that you want to share it to. Like I mentioned before, some of the different pieces of content are optimized for one or more of the social networks, and that is why you'll see that they are available to different networks depending on the kind of content that it is. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you what this looks like live in the application. So first we'll start with the mobile version. As you see here, I have already entered my email address, and I have the option to either send a magic link. And what that's going to do is that it's just going to send me an email to my phone with a link to log in. If I do that, I don't have to enter a password. Instead, it just sends me straight to the application. In my case, I have actually already created a password for my account, so I clicked on sign in with password, I entered it, and now I'm inside the application once again. So like I mentioned before, we get started by clicking on the profile section in the bottom right corner. And here I can see my profile, I can see the different pieces of content that I have already shared or that I have already read. And I'll get started by clicking on the gear icon in the top right corner. Here I get to choose what social networks to connect. So I'm going to connect Facebook first. And because I am already logged into Facebook here, I can just click on continue. And that has connected my Facebook profile. It is the same process if I go to Twitter. I'm already logged in, so I'm just going to click on authorize. And once again, now Twitter is connected as well. So as you see, it is a very simple process to connect the different social networks. So feel free to go ahead, open up the app right now, and connect your own social networks to Amplify. Going back and going into the content section in the middle at the bottom, you'll see here all of the different pieces of content that have been made available. Like I mentioned, they are divided by topics. So for example, this one is a case study. Lower down, I've got more content on public safety, and so on and so forth. Like you see, this account is getting content both in Spanish and in Portuguese. In your case, you will all get content only in Portuguese. All of this content is created by Motorola for you to share, and there will be more content on a regular basis so that you can share it out to your social networks. Once you find a piece of content that you want to share, you can just click on retweet or share, and then retweet it out. Once that's done, the system will confirm that it has been sent out. So as you see, this application is very easy to use. The idea is you just spend a few minutes scrolling through the content, and when you find something that is interesting to you, you can just share it. If you are interested in a specific topic in particular, like Moto Turbo, you can click on the topic and we will show you all of the content for that particular topic. If instead you're interested in public safety, you can just click on that one and we'll show you all of that content. So now I'd just like to show you the desktop version. Like I mentioned, I went to amplify.hootsuite.com and I logged in using my email address and my password. Once you are logged in, you've got the settings page over here to connect the different social networks, and you can click on the Motorola icon to always go back to the main content. So just like before, you can look through the different topics that you've got here. So if you prefer case studies, if you prefer a heavy industry, you can see all of the content that is made available for you. And then lastly, you can just click on share. And for example, like you see here, this content is available to a lot of the different social networks. You would just choose which one you want to send it to and then click on it to send it out. If you want to send it to more than one at a time, you can click on Facebook first, then Twitter, and then that same post will be sent to both of those networks. I'd like to open up the floor now and see if you have any questions on how to use the mobile app, the desktop app. Like I mentioned, please feel free to drop them in the chat. I will be monitoring this chat to be able to answer your questions as quickly as possible. And in the meantime, I want to show you the resources page here at the end. So we've got the desktop version, like you see, it's amplify.hootsuite.com. We also have a section for frequent questions that you see there, as well as the enterprise support team, which is available 24/7. So we've got, you can contact them via email at enterprisehelp@hootsuite.com, and they'll be able to help you both in English and in Portuguese as well. And then lastly, if you have any questions about the content, or if you think that something could change within the organization, please reach out to Patricia directly and she'll be able to help you out with that. So again, thank you all for joining today's call. Like I mentioned, I will be online a few more minutes just to answer any last minute questions that you might have regarding the Amplify application.